Hey YouTube, this is Nick. I just want to put out a quick video, primarily because I had a hard time finding a video about my particular need with this 2006 Fleetwood Pacearrow. Love it. We just got this about a little over a year ago, and we're getting ready to full-time travel in it, so we've been using it at home. We're still at our homestead, but we're paring down, slowly starting the living process in it, just so we can get used to all the intricacies of RV living. Primarily my problem here, just to keep it short, we were using the freshwater tank with a water pump. I heard it's always good to do that every once in a while, so they say if you hear your water pump kicking on with no water demand asked for, there must be a leak somewhere. So I was doing that, and then now it's December, and ironically, at the same time of my issue, I had just bought one of those those heated water hoses and hooked that up. Shouldn't have been a big issue. Anyways, I hooked that up, and then I filled up the water tank again, and turned off the water to the rig from the hose, for the city water, I guess you call it, and went to go with the water pump system again, and it wouldn't turn on. So, but I noticed at the same time all the switches typically glow when it's engaged to go with a water pump, and those weren't working either. So I just went down. I got my hatches open here. I'm going to try to keep everybody from getting sick. Doing this with my iPhone. So here's the water pump, one of the bays below. It has the water pump there. You can see that. The wiring, I do have it kind of hoisted up in the air a little bit here now, but it was all just kind of hanging down here. One of the little couplets has the little yellow cap on it. I think was part of the problem. I was moving the wires and it just came right out. It was all green and patinaed and nasty looking, and the wire came apart. So I figured it must have shorted something out, and wasn't really thinking anything about the switches not turning on. So I fixed this, and I replaced these two little couplets because I thought they were fusible links, and so I just cut them and brought them to an auto parts store, and they said, no, they just look like couplets. So I just replaced them with these little connectors. So it's all wired back up and everything, and I figured that should remedy the problem. So I went inside and turned on my switches. We'll just go inside and show you on the 2006 Fleetwood Pacearrow. I'm sure you're watching this because you own one, and probably hopefully looking for the same issue, but yours is probably like this as well. It has your water pump switch up here. See, now I can turn it on, and it glows a little red light, turns on, and that indicates that it's ready for water pump, but it wouldn't do that. There's a couple other locations where these switches are at. In the far back bathroom, it's got a bath and a half in this rig. There's one right here. That wouldn't turn on still after I fixed everything. And in the spare bedroom or bathroom, there's one here. Get some light on the subject. That one as well too. That wouldn't turn on. So it's all wired, and my big hope is that the water pump itself was not damaged. But then I'm thinking, if the switches aren't turning on, there must be something before the switch that's happening that's not giving power to the switch, obviously. I'm not an electrician, but that just kind of made perfect sense to me. So I figured hopefully it's just a fuse, and I know there's obviously fuses under the dash. Didn't want to go under there. And plus, and I think kind of in the literature was saying it was more for the chassis system and the operation of the motor compartment. And then I know about this one, which is above the propane tank in one of the basement storage areas here. I looked onto everything there. Here's the schematic for that box. Nothing that says water pump. So where is this fuse? So finally I just couldn't find anything on YouTube. I just typed it into Bing. In a small little section of a forum, somebody was talking about their 2006 Fleetwood Pacearrow and was looking for a 12-volt fuse box. And people were giving all kinds of advice where it would be. So I checked all the little different advice points, and I had already been through all the cabinets and everything, and didn't see anything of an obvious nature. But somebody said they pretty sure it's in the spare bathroom right here, and it's in a cabinet on the back wall. And I'm like, really? So I looked in all these cabinets, but I was kind of looking in here. But sure enough, back in here, hard to miss because of the angle where you're standing. Can't really see it. You just have to crouch down. And there is a little black panel. And that is, if I can manipulate my light here. And in particular for the, I don't break that, for the, see that top, that little one right there, 15 amp on the top for the water pump. I took that out, totally fried, replaced it with another one, and boom, water pump works. All right, well, I hope that helps. If you're in the grand search for your water pump fuse in a 2006 Fleetwood Pacearrow, there you go. That's where mine is at, so possibly yours as well. Thanks again. We'll talk to you later.